Aloha, welcome back. Today we're going to be making an original cocktail from the Lun Wah. The Lun Wah sadly is no longer around. They closed during the pandemic, but it was really one of my favorite tiki bars because unlike going to like a restaurant where you sit down, you order, you have your drinks and leave, at the Lun Wah you could just go there, hang out and stay as long as you like. They had karaoke night, they had bingo, they had games. The bar was always active, and of course they had great food. So it truly was a neighborhood hangout, and I was really upset when they closed. One of their drinks that was on the menu since the day they opened back in 1974 was the Atomic Anny. Now the M65, better known as Atomic Anny, was a cannon that fired nuclear missiles. In 1949, the Picatinny Arsenal in New Jersey was set up with the task to create this cannon. Fortunately, it never had to be used during a war, but it was tested out in Nevada. They made about 20 of them, and there's still a couple of them on display. As a matter of fact, you could even find a plastic model of it for all those models and collectors out there. Normally, I show you photos and a little bit of video from the tiki bar and tell you what it's all about, show you the decor, and then I make the cocktail. But in this case, I'm going to make the cocktail first so you can watch this news segment from Taste Hunter on FiOS TV that did like a micro documentary on the Lun Wah. So this way you could have the cocktail and you could revisit what it was all about in the video in the second half of this. I like this drink for a few reasons. It's one of the ones that does use vodka, but it's got coconut, it's got pineapple, it's got 43, which is 43 in Spanish. This liqueur is from Spain. It might not seem strong, but it's got almost 3 ounces of alcohol in here. So you gotta be careful. It is powerful, just like the cannon itself. So we got our container full of crushed ice, and we're gonna start with an ounce of coconut cream. As always, this stuff is thick, so don't be afraid to use a bar spoon to get most of it out. We're going to wash it out a little bit with some of the other ingredients here. 3/4 ounce of 43, brand new bottle here. This stuff really isn't hard to find. You'll probably see it in most bars, but you could easily find it in practically any liquor store. 2 ounces of pineapple juice. 2 ounces of vodka. And I almost forgot 1 ounce of the honey mix. Just 1 part honey to 1 part water so it doesn't stick inside your jigger there. And it's easier to pour and it dissolves more quickly. 1 ounce of honey mix. Now, I'm going to put this in the spindle blender here. Now, traditionally, this was served in a pineapple, but those are cumbersome, they're hard to hold, and if you're going to serve this, you're better off in just a coconut mug. I guess you could serve it in a double rocks glass, but that kind of ruins it. This really should be served in a ceramic mug. Oh, fills it up perfectly. So I know I use the right amount of ice and the right amount of liquid. And we are going to garnish this with a cherry. Let's just take a sip. It's been literally about 5 years since I've had this. Wow, this is a really delicious drink. Easy to make, simple ingredients to find, delicious. You know what? I wouldn't even make this a blender drink. I could drink this just the way it is. I'm not the biggest vodka fan, but this is a really good drink. Now that you have your drink in hand, watch this video. You're going to see a few appearances by me. You're going to see my head popping in there a few times. I'm with my friends, Cindy and Dennis and a few others. And just sit back and enjoy this little segment from FiOS News TV called Restaurant Hunter. Till next time, mahalo and cheers. That is good.
This Roselle strip mall, an unlikely place for a staycation. That is until you step into Lun Wah restaurant and Tiki bar. The palm trees, not the real thing, but can we just pretend a little bit?
Gives you the illusion that you're someplace else, that you've transported yourself out of the area and you've gone someplace a million miles away and you're someplace tropical. Maybe this month you couldn't get away and get to an island, but you know what? You could get down to your local tiki bar. And that's what the tiki bar always represented for people.
Christopher Pandolfo owns Lun Wah. The tiki bar originally opened in 1974. Christopher doesn't know much about the previous proprietors, but he knows why he and his wife were drawn to this place.
I've been in the restaurant business the majority of my career, and I always imagined myself retiring on a beach someplace with a shack bar, and I didn't care if I had nothing else, and all I was doing was rolling down my garage door every day and sleeping under the bar top. And this was it gave me that kind of feeling, like I was someplace special, I was someplace tropical.
The whole tiki culture is kind of based on escapism, right?
It began with guy by the name of Ernest Gant.
On the Beachcomber, right?
California. Yeah, I'm
from California, so yeah.
He opened up just a single room bar with bamboo on the walls, and what he imagined, what his mind would have been, what you would experience in the South Pacific. Strong, rummy, tropical drinks with a lot of fruit juices and syrups.
This thing here, I love this. This has got flames in the center, and this is the volcano.
Our recipe on a volcano for two is very simple. It's just a couple of juices, a little bit of a sweetener, which is our honey. It has a light Puerto Rican rum in there. It's dark Demerara rum from El Dorado. It's 8-year aged. To the juices, a little bit of sweetener, and then we top with the Don Q 151.
Nice kick. It's got a slight sweetness to it. It's nice.
Nice combination. This is actually, we call this our 1970s zombie. The evolution of a lot of these cocktails has taken a lot of time. They all kind of had their own proprietary drink. So you would go to Don's for one particular type of drink, you would go to another place for another different type of drink. And this is somebody else's zombie, and this is our interpretation of somebody else's zombie.
It's called a zombie because it's really, really strong and potent.
But we chose this one because we liked the way the mix went together. It was fairly easy for us to do on a regular basis at a high rate of service, very accurately.
What's up with all the umbrellas?
Yeah, I don't know where the idea of the umbrellas came from.
Yeah.
But it's that old classic idea that you got to get your umbrella drinks.
Yeah.
So in the tiki culture, this is part of the staple. You got the very classic garnish of the pineapple, the cherry, the umbrella.
It'd be kind of dangerous putting the umbrella on this thing.
We've had it happen.
Really? You had an umbrella on this drink?
When we train a new bartender every now and then, they don't realize. And then there's umbrellas, and then they're lighting the 151, and then there's a fire.
I mean, you have a whole group of people who follow this culture coming in here, right?
We do. They go by the name of Tiki Files. They are a wonderful group. All they want to do is just laugh, have a good time, dress up in some bright colored outfits, and celebrate what to them is tiki culture, which is I'm on vacation.
It's really just people who are interested in sort of the whole post-war era.
The food. Polynesian-inspired, Cantonese.
The Polynesian-inspired side is the sweet, fruity end of it. The Cantonese style, obviously, more like an Americanized Chinese, and that was a lot of the thing with the Donna Beachcomber and how this whole movement started. Since it was out of somebody's imagination, it was just an idea of what he thought you might find in the South Polynesian Islands. Wasn't really, but what it produced is a pretty cool eclectic mix of food and drinks and atmosphere that kind of falls together.
I mean, everything's like, it's about the presentation, right?
Every bit of it is made to make you feel like you are not in New Jersey. So our coconut shrimp, it's hand-breaded, dipped coconut shrimp, served over a bed of mixed Chinese vegetables in a brown sauce, deep fried, topped with a little bit of a Coco Lopez coconut cream and some coconut on top.
Now, you wouldn't be like a tiki bar restaurant without a poo-poo platter.
No, you need to have the poo-poo platter. Our poo-poo platter we serve with our barbecue beef kebabs. We serve with our chicken and foil, our shrimp toast, and our ribs are on there also, and then a couple mini egg rolls. Our ribs are fantastic. Beef kebabs are fantastic, but it comes out with the on a Lazy Susan platter with the flaming torch in the middle. Up to you if you want to toast it up a little bit extra on there. Some people do like to do that. Some people just like the feeling of the flame.
What really kind of like exemplifies like this tiki culture is this pineapple chicken.
Our version of a Polynesian-inspired entree. Pineapple chicken, great entree for us. It's green peppers, carrots, onions, and pineapple. The sauce is chicken stock with a little sugar and salt and a little bit of white vinegar. And it's served in an actual hollowed out pineapple.
I like the sticky sauce, right? Because it kind of like brings out the flavor of the chicken. Gonna get the chicken in it. Is it vinegar?
It's a little bit of the white vinegar, yeah.
Does it feel kind of odd to like represent this kind of fake culture in a restaurant?
It's not really a misrepresentation of anything.
Yeah.
Everything that you're experiencing in a place like this has pretty much been Americanized for, I'd say, 70, 80 years. Maybe even longer than that, and it's taken on its own animal. And now the idea of tiki is so far beyond anything that maybe began as any sort of faux cultural representation of anything. It's something that didn't exist in the world anywhere. It was created by an entertainer, basically, and has become something that people the world over really enjoy at this place.
Well, thank you so much. I really had a great time.
It's such a pleasure having you here today.
Isn't happy hour anytime?